Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Workforce Wednesday webinars. My name is Anissa Franklin, and I am the Chief Administrative Officer with the Urban League. And today we have with us Michael Randall, who's going to be talking to us a little bit about LinkedIn and making it work for us. But before Michael comes, I'm going to introduce you to your host, Mr. James McFarland. James?
Well, hey, Anissa, again, I'd like to also welcome you all to Workforce Wednesday. Workforce Wednesday is a program that we here at the Urban League bring to you, our listening audience, information that's going to help you in your workforce development. Workforce Wednesday is brought to us by our sponsors, Toyota Show and Truist Bank, and we'd like to thank them for being a sponsor of this program. Before we get to today's guest, I'm going to turn it back over to Anissa so she can tell you a little bit about what's going on here at the League. Anissa?
Thank you, James. So at the Urban League, we have a number of programs that are currently operating. James McFarland is leading our Work Lexington program, which is housed in the Charles Young Center in East End of Lexington. So if you're looking for employment opportunities, please come by and see James there. And in terms of our youth and education programs, we have a couple of things that are coming up right now. So this is the 20th anniversary of our LIFT conference, which is a college and career readiness conference for preschool through 12th grade students as well as their caregivers. So we are excited to do that on March the 4th. You can see here this flyer that shows that the theme of it is no ceilings on success. And a few of our participating vendors will be Newton's Attic, Art on the Move, Living Arts and Science Center, and just a host of other sessions for the students as well as the caregivers. So when a lot of people come, they are coming looking for college information. So we'll have various colleges there, as well as scholarship information. The Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority will also be there to help with scholarships and understanding your KIA money if you are a senior in high school. There's just a number of things that will be happening at that conference. And you can register by clicking on or scanning this QR code, or you can visit this link here. You can also find this on the Urban League's website, which is ullexfay.org. So ullexfay.org. James?
Oh, hi, Anissa. Thanks again. Well, we're about ready to bring in today's guest. Today's guest is Mike Randall, and he's going to talk to us about LinkedIn. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
It's going good, James. Thank you so much for the invite, and I'm happy to be here.
Before you tell us a little bit about yourself, Anissa spoke to you about, spoke to the audience about this workforce development that I'm doing. And in doing so, I think I need to expand my social media presence. And I think LinkedIn could help me do that. So I'm looking forward to you telling me how LinkedIn could, well, telling the audience and myself also, how LinkedIn could do that. And before you get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome, will do. Can you see my screen all right, James?
Oh, yes, everything's fine.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you, James and Anissa and everyone over at Urban League. Definitely appreciate the invitation. And I'm really happy to come and share my knowledge and my experience when it comes to improving the social media presence on LinkedIn. And so before I talk a little bit about myself, I want to welcome everyone viewing to get in with LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I know it's kind of corny, but I felt like that worked for this presentation. But really happy to share my experience with LinkedIn and really how it's benefited my career within like the last, I would say 5 to 10 years. So before I get into a little bit about myself, I want to go over some of the subject matter that we'll be covering today and kind of set the tone for our conversation. So first, we'll talk a little bit about myself and kind of what LinkedIn has done for me within my LinkedIn story. We'll talk a little bit about why LinkedIn, go over some LinkedIn features, and I'll go over a personal page demo so you all can see my LinkedIn page. And again, I can explain in real time how the page benefits me. And then we'll close with a little Q&A so we can maybe gel some of those synapses that we create in our minds, and everyone can leave here better than we came. So again, my name is Mike Randall. I am in Detroit, Michigan. So I live and work in the city. So if there's any Detroit natives in Lexington, what up, though? I'm an urban planner by training. I currently am the executive director of the Grandmont Rosedale Development Corporation here on the northwest side of Detroit. We cover 5 neighborhoods in Northwest Detroit, providing low-income housing solutions, economic development, commercial corridor improvement, and community engagement. And I pulled this quote directly from my bio from LinkedIn. I devoted my career and my life to the development of communities around the country and the world. My expertise include, but are not limited to, public health, urban planning, community enrichment, and financial capabilities. I really view this as an extension of my work to continue to improve communities by improving people. So I'm really, really happy. So my LinkedIn story. Why am I here presenting about LinkedIn? So another quote, never apply for a job again. And that is something that I live by because of my experience from LinkedIn. My previous role, I'm an urban planner by training, but I spent the lion's share of my career kind of hopscotching from public health to community development. And my last role before my current role here at GRDC, I was a VP of Health Strategies for the American Heart Association. And that position came from LinkedIn. I was doing some work in the community. I was a community health navigator. I was knocking on doors to connect people with services. And I was posting videos about my experiences working in the community. And then I got a direct message from the American Heart Association, who have been following me and seeing the content that I was developing. And they asked me if I would be interested in a director role. That role led to me being promoted to a senior director and finally health strategies before I departed. And that all started because of my engagement on LinkedIn. And so that's why I always say never apply for a job again, because if you utilize LinkedIn properly and you create and curate a network that will work for you, people will reach out to you as opposed to the opposite direction.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you this question real quick.
Yeah.
How long were you on LinkedIn before they reached out to you?
Great question. So I was on LinkedIn maybe for 3 or 4 years, really intentionally developing and curating my network, making sure that I connected with a bunch of people that were in my sphere and within my industry. So I would say about 3 years before.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So why LinkedIn? Number one, professional networking. LinkedIn, the platform is really just a digital networking opportunity for you. I always say when people Google you, the first thing that comes up is your LinkedIn profile if you have a built out and developed LinkedIn presence. And so the ability to network professionally is very, very high on the priority list for developing and starting a LinkedIn profile. So it's designed specifically for professional development, which makes it more focused and for those who are looking to connect again with your sphere and with your industry. And so again, the platform is meant for that. The content that's typically developed on the platform is for that purpose. Again, content. So LinkedIn is known for its high quality professional content. And so not to throw shade on other social media platforms, but when you get on LinkedIn, it's typically for job seeking, for networking opportunities, for you to get news and information about things that matter to you. That's kind of how this the algorithm is designed. And so again, I think that it's a very safe and a very effective place for networking, because of the content that you consume on the platform. Again, were you, James, going to ask something?
Oh, yeah, for those novice people who really are hearing about LinkedIn for the first time, is there a cost to LinkedIn?
Yes, and we can definitely get into that a little later, but there is a cost associated with it, but the basic level of LinkedIn is free. I don't have a paid subscription on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And so this is for individuals that want to just log in, create it. You don't have to worry about the LinkedIn plus a little gold emblem or anything like that. I don't pay for it, and I get all these benefits from it.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Michael, we had a question pop up in the chat. They said
Yes.
that they really enjoyed your brief bio that you read at the start of your presentation and wondered how important is that brief bio section?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that on the personal demo as well, but it is so important because when you are seeking an opportunity for employment and someone Googles you and they go to your LinkedIn profile, that's the first thing that they're gonna read. And that's a great opportunity for you to talk more about your experience, but also talk about your personal passion for the work that you do. And when we get into my profile, I can show you guys like how I developed that, right? It's not just about Michael Randall, Executive Director of Grandma Rosa Development Corporation. Is I have devoted my career and my life to the development of communities around the world. So when people look at my profile, that brings it to life. And so that about section on LinkedIn is so important. Great question. So again, looking at personal branding, right? Again, when people Google you, if you have a LinkedIn profile, because of the search engine optimization, if they Google your name and they might say Michael Randall Detroit, right? If you Google me right now and say Michael Randall Detroit, more than likely one of the first, if not first, maybe second or third profiles that are going to pop up is my LinkedIn profile because of the search engine optimization that's built into LinkedIn. So the personal branding is just a great opportunity again for you to talk more about your experience, not just bullet point, I worked here this date, this date. Really gives an opportunity for employers or people that you want to network with to get an opportunity to learn more about who you are. And job searching. So LinkedIn is a very popular platform for job seekers. And again, being able to not elaborate, but being able to talk more about your experience beyond your job history is just a great opportunity for employers to see that, to learn more about you, and also to see your connections and who you're connected with as well. Again, looking at why LinkedIn is a great opportunity for workforce development, great opportunity for networking and finding career opportunities, is because the organic social media engagement. And really, that's just a fancy way of saying that when you connect with people on LinkedIn, it is much more impactful than other social media platforms. Right. I like to say that, 20 likes or engagements on LinkedIn is probably worth 200 on Facebook because the network, the platform is curated again for business development, for workforce development, for job seekers. And so if you look at these graphs, you can see that 95% of the engagement on a LinkedIn is organic. That means that it's coming from people within your network, not a bot or not some random fake page that may have followed you or likes you on, and again, this ain't shade, this is just facts, you know what I mean? The engagement is organic, and more than likely, if you get a like or a little applause or a heart, it's probably from Anissa who liked something that I posted. I know her. I can reach out to her and say, "Hey, you like that? Hey, maybe we could work together some type of way or collaborate." Or, "Hey, you know somebody?" Or, "Hey, I got a job opportunity for this individual. Can you connect me with them?" Right? It's because the engagement is organic. And as you can see Twitter, 86%, Facebook, 82%, YouTube, 53%, and Instagram, 46%, right? So LinkedIn really leads the bunch when it comes to that organic engagement.
Michael, a
Yes.
few months ago, we had a webinar that was called Networking for Introverts. And we talked about a different, the variety of ways that individuals who don't like to network in person can, still get that job done. So would
Yes.
you say that out of all of these, based on the percentages, it looks like even if you don't like to network in person, that LinkedIn, if you chose no other way, that is the way to go?
Absolutely, 100%. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Looking at where do you want your engagement to go, right? And what's the intent, right? If I post something on my social media platform, what do I want to get in return, right? And if I'm seeking a job, if I'm seeking a connection, there are people that go on LinkedIn and say, I just got laid off, right? And I'm looking for a job opportunity in Detroit, or I'm looking for a job opportunity in Lexington. I'm looking for a job opportunity in Chicago. Does anybody know anyone in that space that works in the food industry or in IT or whatnot? And there will literally be people in the comment section that says, hey, reach out to this person. Hey, reach out to that person, right? And so that's a great point. If you're not a person that wants to, maybe go out, you can use LinkedIn as that networking opportunity and see kind of what comes back to you. Absolutely.
Let me ask you this question on the job search portion of it. So is there a place on LinkedIn where you post your resume, or is it that you just tell your professional history without a resume posting?
Yep, and I'm gonna show you on the demo as well. But the LinkedIn profile essentially is your resume, right? And so when you apply for a job or when you connect with an employer on LinkedIn, the first thing they see is your profile, and that's why it's very, very, very important to put as much information as possible. Y'all got me really wanting to get to this demo, so
that's why I said I know you said Q&A at the end, so let me be quiet.
No, these questions are wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
And so again, for job seekers, this is an article that was posted on LinkedIn. 85% of all jobs are filled via networking, right? 85%. So when you put that resume or you put that your business card, and when you put that in tandem with networking, 85% of all jobs are filled via networking. So reaching out, calling someone, sending an email, posting on LinkedIn, right? That's where jobs are being filled. And so again, that LinkedIn is a great platform to do that, but it's again very, very important to build out your page with as much information as possible. So again, we'll talk a little bit more about this during my demo, but some LinkedIn features that are really cool is creator mode. So it gives you opportunity to post content and go live, which, what they say, a picture tells 100 words or 1,000 words, a video is 1,000,000,000 words, right? And so having the ability to post videos, post pictures, other content goes a long way. So we'll talk a little bit about creative mode as well. You can write articles on LinkedIn. If you feel passionate about food insecurity, if you feel passionate about real estate in Lexington, if you feel passionate about connecting with youth, right? Write an article about it. Write an article about something that you see in the community, and it will be featured on LinkedIn, right? And you can share it, and people can connect with you. I know a connection of mine on LinkedIn wrote, why I hate Detroit, right? And it wasn't a negative. It was what he wanted to improve as a native Detroiter, what he wanted to see improved. And that headline really was a visceral response, and people reached out. But he wrote that article on LinkedIn, so he didn't have to go to the Free Press or anybody. He was able to do that through LinkedIn. Again, going live, right? LinkedIn is kind of like a safeguarded, protected platform. So it's not like going live on IG or Facebook where just anybody's cousin can just go live and just talk about whatever, right? You have to go through a process to go live on because they want to make sure that the content is serving the community on LinkedIn. But going live and talking about what you're doing a presentation on LinkedIn, that can go long, long way. Resume customization and download. And so you can develop your profile on LinkedIn and then download it right from LinkedIn. And then you have your resume right there, right? And so that's a great feature on LinkedIn where you don't have to, anytime you update your job, you have your resume already updated. And so if there's any time you want to send your resume, you have it downloaded directly from LinkedIn. And then LinkedIn paid subscriptions. Again, if you want more of the bells and whistles, every platform has a paid subscription now. YouTube has premium where you don't gotta watch the, ads. And they talking about doing something for Twitter now that Elon Musk is running Twitter. So platforms are moving to a subscription model. Again, people, I don't pay for it, and I benefit from it. So that's why I'm sharing this.
Now, do you know anybody with a paid account, or have you experienced people with the paid account to kind of tell what some of the different features that the paid account offers?
Absolutely. So I did once have a paid account, but I didn't find it useful. So I stopped paying for it. I do know that the paid account does put your profile in more searches. So if somebody is looking for your specific skill set, you will see more traction when it comes to people reaching out to you for potential job opportunities. However, if you develop your profile and you are active in developing content and posting on LinkedIn, and you're viewed as a subject matter leader in your field or whatever it is that you do, you can create that traction organically. So that's why I don't pay.
Okay, now I'm gonna sit back and watch this demo, man.
Okay. So let me pull up my LinkedIn.
While you're doing that, Michael, James, what I would tell you too about a paid account is right now I'm getting emails that say, hey, Anissa, 39 people have viewed your profile. And if I want to see who those people are, I would need a paid account to see them. Otherwise, it might give me the top one or two. But, the fact that people are looking at my profile, whatever, it's good to know that, somebody's looking for me or whatever, but I don't feel the need, like Michael, to pay for an account. We'll just keep it going the way it is. If they want to reach out, they can reach out to me directly.
Okay. Absolutely. And great point, Anissa. I couldn't say it better myself. I would say, the cream always rises to the top. So if they really, really want to reach out to you, they will. You don't need to know who it is. That does, make it to where when somebody views your profile, you can see who it is. But again, if they want to reach out, if they want to connect with you, if they want to hire you, they're going to reach out to you. So this is the news feed, just like a regular run-of-the-mill social media news feed. You got a little information about yourself over here, opportunities to post content. Again, that feature to write an article is very, very powerful. Any events you may have coming up, posting a photo of it. So that is cool. And again, you have some promoter stuff. You can't get away from the promotions. That's just the world we live in. And some top LinkedIn news right here. So it's a really clean news feed, if you ask me, really clean. And of course, you can go down and see what's going on with your network and see who's doing what. And, these are people that I post, these are people that are organizations that I follow that mean something to me. And then also I can see what matters to my network. So, you see my friend right here, and this, she just liked this. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is awesome stuff that they're doing. So you're able to kind of see what people are into and the projects that they're following and things that matter to them. So it's I think that the platform, again, is the only social media I use because it's so curated based on what I like, right? And what I like is business, what I like is community development. What I like is real estate development, and so that's what I get from my platform, which makes me a person that continues to use. So if you go to view profile, this is my profile. Please, invest in either the time or the money to get you a decent headshot. This is a little creative headshot that I did. But these phones are becoming very, very powerful. So set that phone up with a nice tripod, get in some good light, and do a nice little profile picture. Don't be in your car with the safe belt on, and you got the kids in the back throwing, no. Get yourself in some nice light and get yourself a good profile picture. Because again, this is your personal branding opportunity. So you want to make sure that, you put your best foot, or in this case, your best face forward when people are searching. And the background picture is just kind of what you see. I'm an urban planner, I'm a nerd, and so I kind of like, looking at these little schematics and whatnot. And so that's my little background photo. Looking at my title, so it's up to you. I see people that kind of do personal titles, change agent, social impact innovator, CEO, husband, dad, people, it's your prerogative. For me, I'm old school with it. So I just went with my current title, which is, Executive Director, Grandma Real Estate Development Corporation. It has my education right here, has my market, Detroit metropolitan area, and then it has my, so I have, 1,300 followers. Again, I know that don't mean nothing for Instagram. People walk around with 5 quadrillion followers. But again, going back to that slide about organic engagement, these 1,300 people, I probably know or connected with somebody or they're connected with somebody that I know. So the degrees of separation are very close. So that 1,300 is actually people that can potentially connect me with opportunities in my market, which means a lot. If you click here on more, I know I talked a little bit about the resume, but you can save your profile as a PDF, which pretty much saves your profile as a resume, which is super cool. I think I'll demo that at the end so it doesn't take me away from the screen. Then it talks a little bit about your analytics. So these are people that are that are viewing my profile. So I had 118 profile views, 26 impressions, and 43 people searched me. So these are a little bit of my analytics. It just really shows how the network is interacting. This is the creator mode that I was talking about. And what this does is just gives people an opportunity to follow you. So let's say you write a fire article about real estate in Lexington, and people start to follow you because they're like, man, this person is very knowledgeable. I like what they're talking about. I want to follow this person. Well, creator mode gives you an opportunity to become followed on LinkedIn. And then you have opportunity to pick your hashtags. So this is what will potentially show up in other people's news feed that have similar hashtags. So, you can pick whatever hashtags are important to you. These are hashtags that matter to me. City of Detroit, urban planning, community development, real estate development, and social determinants of health. So anytime I post something, I post one of those hashtags are automatically populated. And so anybody that has these same hashtags will see my content and to give them an opportunity to follow me.
Let me ask you this question, Mike, with this hashtag portion of it. Now, are you able to create your own hashtags, or are these just the hashtags that are generic or out there for?
You can make your own hashtag. You can make your own hashtag. And again, if people start following you and that hashtag becomes popular, it might become auto-populated hashtag. All of these hashtags are auto-populated because they're pretty generic, right?
Okay.
Urban planning, real estate development, social determinants, like those are very generic. And so they've already been created, but absolutely you can develop your own hashtag.
Okay.
And then it goes down to my network, and this is where I can click on my network and see all of the people that I'm connected with. And it also gives me suggestions of pages that I can follow. So these are all my connections over here, all of these wonderful people that I'm connected with. If I was looking for somebody, and again, um, I'm familiar with everyone that I'm seeing right now. Michelle McAdory, she was on our board at the American Heart Association. I might want to message, I might have an idea, like, man, what's Michelle McAdory up to? Let me message her real quick. Madhavi Reddy, she's the CEO of CDAD. I currently serve on their board. I might message her and say, hey, I have an idea. I wasn't able to connect with you. I wasn't able to catch you on email. I might try her on LinkedIn. And so this is why it's so and so important to, to develop your network on LinkedIn, because again, it's so organic and it's just a great opportunity for you to stay connected. So this is my activity. And so these are some recent things that I posted. I'll click on this one. This is a video I did for Giving Tuesday. And, as you can see, again, a video goes a long way. 100 engagements. And again, this is organic engagement. So out of my 1,300 individuals, 100 of them, which is a decent chunk, actually engaged somehow with this interview. Either they hearted it or they liked it, but they see that I'm out and I'm active and I'm doing the good work, right? So again, these are organic engagements. But if you look at right here, 3,073 impressions. So that means that throughout the entire LinkedIn network, even within my network and outside, 3,000 people either viewed it or shared it or whatnot. And so again, it's a great opportunity for you to really push out content and let the world know how amazing you are and the wonderful work that you're doing.
Let me ask you this question, Mike, while you're looking.
Yes.
You sort of answered it, but when you post something like that video that you just did, it not only goes to the people in your network, can it be publicly posted, or do they just have to share it with others?
Yeah, so good question. Every time I post something, I share it publicly.
Okay.
So that's your preference. If you want to keep it more private to your network, that's your preference. But I'm a public facing person. Either they're gonna like me or they're gonna hate me or they're gonna love me. And so I'll put out the content for the community. But great question, James. It is up to you. And there is an option when you share it. I believe I can do this right now. I can't because I already posted it.
Okay.
There is an option that when you do publish something, they give you an option if you wanted to do it private or if you wanted to do it public. Great question.
So Michael, when you do your videos like this, how are you recording them? We spoke briefly about, our phones can do a number of things. Is that how you did it, or how did you go about actually making it look so professional?
Yeah, so I actually do professional videography and photography. So that was with a professional camera, and I just actually put the camera up. But people, that does not matter. These phones are so doggone powerful that they are giving all of these professional cameras a run for their money. And so content over nothing. And then what I mean by that is saying that don't be discouraged if you are working with a ring light in an iPhone. Put your content out there. You do not need a professional film crew. You do not need a professional camera. Invest in a nice ring light, invest in a little tripod, and set it up and put yourself out there. It will pay dividends. I will say, as a professional videographer, photographer, sometimes people don't want to see professional video. I mean that. Sometimes they want to see a person walking with a shaky cell phone because it's real. It's actually you, right? And so do not be dismayed, do not be discouraged if you do not have the highest of equipment, because content over nothing always beats not posting.
Well, not to get, I don't want to get too technical, but does
Yeah.
LinkedIn accept a lot of different formats of video recording, or is it?
So, I think the iPhone records in 1080p. So that is like the most standard
Okay.
video file format across all boards. It's 1080p, and most Androids and iPhones record in 1080p. So if you record it on there, if you have the LinkedIn app, you should be able to upload videos to LinkedIn directly from your iPhone. No problem.
Mike, how do you decide if you're gonna, I'm sorry for all the questions, but how do you decide if you're gonna post on your personal profile or your company or organization's profile?
So I post all of my content primarily on my personal profile. I think that it's just more organic. I think that it's easier to grow your network through a personal profile rather than a business profile. You can promote your business or your organization through your personal profile. If we go right here, Grandmont Rosedale Development Corporation, if I click on it, it's only 152 followers right here, right? We a small nonprofit, right? But you, with individual content, can reach so much further beyond, the followers on your organization. So an organization like Urban Lead is a little bigger. It might reach farther, right? But I think that your personal profile is always going to be primary, because again, it's just so much easier to develop your personal network rather than a business network. That makes sense.
It does. Thank you.
And so you can see, videos that I posted. This is another video I posted about our Smart Business Saturday. Again, 25 engagements. That's a victory for me, because that means that people are being able to see what we're doing. And, one of our funders for this, I tagged them in it, and they were able to respond to this. And so this is great. Like, what's better, doing something like this, or maybe sending an email saying thank you for the sponsorship, right? Something like this is way better, because not only does it promote our organization, but it promotes them as well. And so again, this is all free. It's all free promotion for myself, for my organization, and for the people that I tagged in it. Tagged PNC Bank, Thrivent, they all get this free promotion. And when they see that, that goes a long way. So again, this is free advertising for the organization. And then also it just shows, articles that I care about that I reposted. Again, this shows up in my algorithm. And just in case, if you think that I don't care, you see on the news feed that Michael Randall liked this or Michael Randall posted this. So I'm really able to share with my network the things that matter to me. In the About section is a great opportunity for you to talk more about yourself and who you are. We are not our jobs. I repeat, we are not our jobs. We just happen. You say, what? Say it again for the back. We are not our jobs. We happen to work this job in this point in time in our career in life. But I am Michael Randall. I happen to be the executive director of Grandmont Rosedale Development Corporation, privileged to run the organization and to shepherd it into the new opportunities that we'll have this year and beyond. But I'm myself. And so in your About section, be personal, be vulnerable. You ain't gotta say, your whole family tree, but talk a little bit more about yourself. Be personal. And if you see in my bio or in my About section, I have my phone number. That is my personal phone number. And again, it is your prerogative. I'm not advocating that everyone do that. Don't come to Mike when you get these crazy text messages. But I don't get any crazy text messages. I don't get any crazy phone calls or anything. I got a wonderful opportunity from having my phone number in my about section. Somebody reached out to me about doing a marketing project for Bayer Aspirin. They reached out to me, they hit me in my DM on LinkedIn, and I didn't catch it. It was a couple days that went by. They sent me a text message. When I got the text message, I was like, okay. They said, I hit you up on LinkedIn, you didn't respond. So I ended up calling them, and it was an opportunity of a lifetime for a week-long project, working with Bayer Aspirin on a new marketing campaign, right? If I wouldn't have my phone number in this about section, I probably would have missed that opportunity, right? So again, it's your prerogative, it's up to you. But if people, again, because the network, because the platform is protected for this type of opportunity, I'm not getting crazy phone calls. I'm not getting crazy emails, right? I'm getting people that actually want to reach out to me for opportunities. They saw my experience, they saw what I was capable of doing, and they want a step further to reach out to me.
Let me ask you this question. When you said this platform is protected, could you talk a little bit about that, or is that some, is that still in the?
So I can't really get into like the technical aspect of that. What I will say is, growing up with social media, I think Facebook came out when I was in 12th grade or something. So it's always been a part of my adult life. Facebook and Instagram and other those platforms, the content is not policed like LinkedIn.
Okay.
You are never gonna get on. Let me speak for myself. I have never got on LinkedIn and saw hate speech.
Okay.
I have never got on LinkedIn and saw provocative material. I have never got on LinkedIn and saw somebody fighting or getting beat up. I've never seen that on LinkedIn. And I believe it's because people over at LinkedIn do a great job policing the content that's put on there and also safeguarding people's profiles and their information.
Okay, great.
I've been on the platform. I've never had some crazy DMs, people trying to sell me Bitcoin. I ain't never had it happen on LinkedIn. And so and again, I don't have a paid subscription. I have a basic free subscription. And again, I think it's incumbent on LinkedIn as a company really protecting the platform.
Okay.
So this is my experience. Again, it's very, very important in this section to be extremely thorough with all of your experience, because this is what creates your resume when you download it. And again, this is what gives the network opportunity to learn more about who you are. So it has my experience at the American Heart Association, my experience at American Healthcare TAS, Habitat for Humanity, Health Department, Washington Community College, all the way down to when I was a bagger at Farmer Jack Supermarket. So, Mike, why do you got that on your LinkedIn profile? Because it's a part of my experience. Everything that we have experienced as human beings informs who we are today. So don't be afraid of that. I'm not afraid of any of my experience. I was a patient center. I sat with patients for 7 years at University of Michigan Hospital. It makes me who I am today. And so my LinkedIn profile got all the way down 2006, 2005 when I graduated from high school. So there's no gaps in my resume. If you hire me, you get all of it. Getting me as a bagger, as member service specialist, and health navigator, all the way up to executive director. So it's very, very important to share your experience as much as possible, as much as you can remember on LinkedIn, because I think that, again, it just tells the story of who you are. my education here. And also it gives you opportunity to do highlights, right? So if I wanted to talk more about some specific experiences that I had during my time at UFM Dearborn, I talk a little bit about that. And I even got my letter when I made the Dean's List. I want people to know about everything. So yeah, put all your information here, masters, all of that. And also again, Woolen Run High School, 2001 to 2005. I got all my experience on here. I put my middle school on there. Again, tells the story of who licenses and certification, all of the stuff. Every license or certification that you have. I don't care if you got a certification from the church basement, put it on there. All of it matters. And then your volunteering experience, again, as thorough as possible. My experience as an AmeriCorps, as a planning commissioner, as a board member, also personal. This is with my church, president of Bridge Young Adult Ministry. All of your experience is relevant. So put it all on there. And then talks about your skills. This is another really cool opportunity that LinkedIn provides. It gives you an opportunity and your network an opportunity to endorse others or people to endorse you. So these are the skills that I've put out. And again, I have 15 endorsements from my networks for community outreach. I have 13 endorsements for community development, and I have 10 endorsements for research. I don't know how I got those endorsements. Thank you, network. But again, it just gives people an opportunity to endorse your skills, and it gives more credibility to your profile. Also, any publications that you may have done, and finally your interests in any organizations that you're involved in. So that is the demo, and I will show you what it looks like when you save your PDF. And so all of that experience goes into a nice little PDF for you that you can send as a resume. That is that. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Let me ask you something. I'm intrigued with the video portion of it. Now, can just the average user, when they first sign in, do they have the ability to post videos?
So I believe that you do have to be on the platform for a little while
Okay.
to get creator mode. I was like given an invite. I remember I got a notification saying that creator mode was available to me. I believe that when you get on and you post something, again, if it's positive and it contributes positively to the network, I believe that the algorithm picks that up and gives you opportunity for creator mode. And I think that that's a safeguard to make sure that people aren't posting all type of craziness on LinkedIn. So I would say for any person that's starting out, post right away. If you're in the real estate, if you're in the food industry, if you are an individual that is in manufacturing, if you're a skilled trades individual, you're a plumber, or you work in HVAC, find an article and share it on LinkedIn. You know, HVAC, this is something, you can Google something. You know, this season, HVAC, opportunities are going to be up by 20%, or the cost of materials or labor is find those articles, copy and paste the link for that article and put that on LinkedIn. And I think that as the algorithm starts to pick you up, you'll get opportunities for creator mode.
Okay. Well, Anissa, do you have any questions for Mike?
I've asked all the questions that I had as well as others have. So right now I don't see any others.
Well, Mike, I mean, that was great because like I said, doing the work that I'm doing now, I'm definitely going to have to expand my social media presence. And it looks like look at Nissa shaking, shaking her head. And it looks like LinkedIn is probably going to be the platform that I choose to definitely based on this presentation that you did today, that I'll choose to expand that social media presence. So I appreciate all the information that you gave us today.
Wonderful. And I mean, if it's okay with you both, you definitely can share my information, with anybody that maybe needs some extra help, want to connect with me or whatnot. Please do. I really, really, really believe that this platform is by and large the reason why I'm here in my career. In the last 6 to 7 years, I've been able to make quantum leaps in my career. If you remember looking at my resume, before the American Heart Association, I was a health navigator, just working in it. And I went from there, from a director all the way up to an executive director within the matter of maybe 5 to 6 years. And I really, really believe that a lot of that has to do with LinkedIn, just because, but also putting the work in and making sure that my profile is built out well with a lot of information to help people learn more about who I am.
Let me ask you this quick question. I've heard how it has helped you. Do you think that you would go to LinkedIn to look for people to hire people in your organization?
100%. First thing, if anybody reaches out to me about a job, the first thing I'm doing is Googling. I'm going to their LinkedIn profile. First thing I'm doing. First thing. And I'm saying that as an employer as well. First thing I'm doing is going to their LinkedIn, because I want to see how they present themselves, but also how other people are interacting with them, right? And so everybody knows, give me your 3 or 4 references, right? I can learn a lot about that on LinkedIn, right? And it's your engagement, right? If you post something on LinkedIn about the work that you do, and I look at the comment section and somebody's like, yeah, or I was there with you, that was awesome, or great presentation, or great job on that project or whatnot. That shows me that, this is a person that really, really, really cares about their work, and other people are able to reinforce that. So absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
So I think what's really good here, Michael, is I never thought about it in this way before, but as James is working with individuals to do resumes, and we've working with a number of partners who are helping people with their resumes, as much as they do that, they also need to go ahead and establish a LinkedIn profile.
Absolutely.
That they can continuously update, and people can find them by just, doing, like you said, the Google search and finding them on LinkedIn. So that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it killed, literally, like, you're able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You're able to build your profile, build your online resume, and build your online presence, right? And I can download this as a PDF, put it in an email, and send it to someone, right? I don't have to, go into a Word document and update it and whatnot. Every time I update my LinkedIn profile, I'm effectively updating my resume, right? So I have a living and breathing document that I'm able to, update anytime I change jobs, right? And just going back to my profile, as I get more wins here at GRDC, I've only been with the organization for 8 months. Can you guys see my screen again?
Yeah, we're able to see it.
So, as my experience grows here at GRDC, I can just go in here and I can put more information. I can put build 2,000 units of housing. I haven't did it yet, right? But that's something that I can literally do in real time, and that will be a part of my that would be a part of my resume. And so as you're, increasing your skill set, as you're getting more and more experience, anytime I get a certification, anytime I get a new skill, or anytime I get a new volunteer opportunity, first thing I do is go to LinkedIn. It's like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. So my network is aware of it. And, and if people are looking for me for opportunities, then they know everything that I'm involved with up to date.
Well, great, Mike. For this that doesn't have any other questions, I'd like to thank you for being our first guest on Workforce Wednesday for 2023. And I
Yes.
enjoyed the president immensely. And for those out there who are viewing us here on Workforce Wednesday, visit the Urban League's Facebook page and see what other guests we have coming up in the future. And hopefully they all present as well as Mike did. And I'm sure you all will love it.
I'm certain they will. Thank you all.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you,
thanks a lot
Michael.
for being with us. And Mike, thanks a lot for being with us.